Today is June 6, 2016, for sure a very interesting day in the small cap penny stock market. So we've got a ton going on today. I'm just going to kind of run through a lot of the tickers because basically all of the tickers I'm going to go through are very similar in their float and their price action and so on. So just going to kind of run through some of the stocks that you can find every day in StocksToTrade. I mean, these come up on the screeners every morning. If you put on a decent trade plan, which we covered on the blog over the weekend, I mean, it is very likely. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but it's very likely that you can make a lot of money on these fast-moving stocks. So just real quick, I mean, we've got the SPY basically right at or approaching all-time highs. So when you get that kind of stuff happening, there's a good chance that stocks are going to move up, especially cheap stocks. So the most interesting one of the day is HMNY, which is up 752% currently. You can see that it kind of was up, it was up percentage-wise quite a bit this morning on some news here. Looks like some sort of pending merger, but that was at $2, and then you can see it just ripped and double or tripled to the sixes. And that you got a little bit of fading, you probably got shorts piling in, and then it just rips again. It touched, what was the high? It touched 10 today, and I mean, it's just very, very strong. There's potential that this thing could just keep going and going and going. Again, the float is puny float. So when people start, we go over this a lot, but when people are tripping over each other for shares, it's basic supply and demand. And the longs are chasing each other to get a hold of shares, and anybody that gets short just gets torched into these big moves. So HMNY is the biggest mover, but in comparison, some of these aren't nearly as exciting, but they were great plays this morning. MOC closed Friday in the mid twos, had some looks like a Homeland Security contract on late Friday. So, you've got a gap up this morning, almost a $1 gap up, which, again, a lot of guys would be timid to buy that. But today, just buying anything that's moving seems to be working. So, I mean, you've got it in the threes and the fours pre-market, and then it rips all the way almost to 6. And then, pretty much fading off since then. Probably a lot of the momentum is kind of rotated into other stocks. VBL or CYCC, same kind of idea. You've got some news this morning at 10 a.m. Big rip. This has been a previous runner as well, but it's sitting in the high 4s, ran all the way to the mid 8s. I mean, it's just crazy how some of these any low floats, not any, I mean, they're not all, but I mean, almost any low float stock with news that gets some volume, and you can screen for all those things with StocksToTrade, are just ripping. So last one of the day is VBLT. Again, gapped up on news, but you could have waited for it to break through kind of this double, triple, quadruple top at 6. And it goes all the way to the mid 7s and is now kind of settling down, which it was ironically kind of this morning. VBLT was one of the hottest stocks, going from 4 to a gap up to 6, and now it's just an also ran compared to all these other ones that are ripping. So again, it's be careful, use proper size, always book your gains, but right now there is a lot of momentum in the market. And again, screen for these things with news and with volume, as long as they have those 3 variables right now: low float, news, and then they got to have the volume. You got to have the traders interested, the eyeballs in them, but they are ripping every day. So thanks again. We'll see you tomorrow.